Hi there, my name's Tom and I'm animation supervisor on Pop Paper City, and today we're going to look into building a quadruped rig for one of our characters called a Pop Packer. Today we're doing it in R24, purely because when we created the show this was the latest version of C4D when it was out, and due to pipeline issues we couldn't really upgrade. The mechanics and stuff of the character builder are just the same in the new version, so let's dive in. So showing you now is a turntable of the rig and with a few motion clips applied to it, just to show you how the mechanics work and the controllers that we'll be building. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into C4D and have a look. So with our character, we've just got this fresh from modeling, and again, to save time, because when we are writing these characters into the script, we didn't have the luxury of having the R&D time of building the rigs from scratch. So the character builder was perfect for rigging these secondary characters, because I think from modeling to when the animation started, we only had about 4 weeks, and yeah, we needed to get this done really quickly. So to save time, we even borrowed some rig elements from Phoebe, one of our main characters. So you'll see that the Pop Packer does look a bit like a pantomime horse, but for the kids' TV show, it worked perfectly. The first thing to do is we're going to turn off Phoebe's legs, so we're left with the Pop Packer's main body. And we'll go up to character, and let's start building our rig. So as you can see on the drop down, you've got all these amazing options, from birds, reptiles, quadruped, which we'll be using. There is an advanced quadruped option which we're not going to be using today. I did try and make a rig like that and gave it to a couple of animators, and they were like, just keep it simple because it's only going to be used for one episode. So we're going to do the quadruped and we can start building our rig. As you can see, it gives you a nice arrow on the direction of where the front of your character needs to be, and our Pop Packer is facing the wrong way, so without further ado we need to rotate that in the right orientation and put it in the side view. Make sure that the center point is where we want it. We can see it's a bit off, so we need to move it more central. And then we can start building the rig. And the character builder is great for this because you can just click on a button and you've got your main controller already, and you've got your root. We need to start building. So we've got our root and spine, and what I like to do is adjust the points as we're building, otherwise it gets a tiny bit messy. So if we get to the root, we can start moving where we want our root to be. For this character, I did it like where its hips would be, and then I can start moving like where the base of the neck will be, which I'm going to put about here. I always try and keep it above where the legs are going to be so it can tessellate properly. And they're in a good position, I feel, so we can start building the rest of the character. So go back to the attributes, go back to build, click on spline, and then we can start building the legs if we want. All right, so now we're happy with our start and end point of our spine. We can start building the rest of the character. Because we've got the legs, we're going to bypass the legs, but we can start adding the neck object. You can see here it's very small. So again, as we go along, we can quickly move our FK neck rig to the position that we want. Again, because this is quite a cartoony character, we don't have to be 100% realistic on this. Right, happy with that. So now we can start building. So it gives you the option of adding a head. And again, we'd like to move this again. So we can do adjust. So I want it to be down a bit more where the snout is. And I think we can move the controller so it's a bit easier later on. So we can go back to the build and we can see, we're starting to get our joints and controllers already in the right place. So now we want to add controllers, joints for the ears and the tail. So we go back to the spine and it gives you these options for the tail. And again, just need to adjust the joints to fit our rig. There you go, pretty happy with that. So back to the character builder, go back to build. And now I'd like to add some joints for the ears. Right, so now we've added our ears. We need to add them twice because obviously most animals have 2 ears. So you can go back to the perspective view. You can see that they're both here. And when we adjust, we've got a nice little, it's already selected to symmetry. So if we go into the front view and move one of them, they're mirrored, so you don't have to do this twice, which is super handy. I'll just adjust the ears to fit our model. And I'm pretty happy with where all our joints are. And as you can see, that's been 10 minutes and we've got our basic rig set up for our pot packer. Right, so next we are going to quickly show you how easy it is to bind this character to our new rig. The auto binding in C4D is good, but there's still going to be a lot of tidying up that we're going to have to do. So now we've got our rig set up, we can go to the binding section and it changes the hierarchy of the character, so we can see all the controllers, all the joints. So we just need to select what we want putting into our binding object. So for this purpose, I'm going to turn off the legs so don't get confused. I'm also going to turn off this frilly skirt because that's a lot of geo to calculate, and I'm going to show you a quick hack on how to not have to weight all this geometry to the joints. So we'll turn that off. So we've got a nice simple mesh. Go back to our character builder and we can select all the geo that we want. So we can just drag it into the object. There you go. Now you can see that C4D has automatically created our weighting tags. So you can go to manager and then weight manager. And I'm hoping we can see what the weighting looks like. Body. Oh, there you go. So you can see it's done a pretty good job on binding our geo to the rig that we've just made. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of tidying out that we're going to have to do because C4D can only do so much out the bat, but this is a pretty good base to where we're starting. I'm not going to go too much into depth on how to tidy this all up. That's another day for another tutorial. But you can see it's pretty good. So with that done, we can go back to our character tag, and then if we go to animate, we can do a quick test on see how this is looking. So you can see there's issues already with the nose not really been weighted onto it. But we can try chest controller. See, that's doing all right. There's a bit of tearing there, but that'll be solved by a bit of blending on the weighting. So you can see how quickly it's been to create this rig, and it's a great base for any characters that you've got. Now we've got this, we can start incorporating our legs from our other character rigs, so we can start moving stuff around into the hierarchy. So I want to attach these front legs to the chest controller. We can probably do this using the constraints tool. We can just easily parent. And I want to attach the hips of these rear legs to the root. So hopefully, with any luck, if we move the root, the legs are reacting to the body. So our rig's pretty much roughly set up. So, you know, the character tool is great for roughly rigging stuff like this, and it gives you the power to build on this rig as well. So if we go into our finished rig, which was actually used for the episode, we can see we've added extra controllers for the neck, so they're easily grabbable. There's even added some dynamics to the ears, which you can easily do with some IK tags. Just trying to find them for you. Select the ears. So yeah, just a simple IK tag with a root ended to the end of it, and then yeah, just using a bit of Espresso to create a user interface for the animators here. So if we turn all this on, push play, and give the rig a little wriggle, you'll be able to see some of the dynamics in action. So you can see the skirts. We've added some extra joints here for the skirts. There's a bit more reaction there. And if we give it a bit of a, and then the tail wiggles as well. And same with the head. Got the ears shaking around, one less thing to animate. So yeah, earlier on I mentioned about this frilly skirt. It would have taken a long time to properly weight this to the joints. So my little tip for this was, we've got our skirt geo here, and basically using a mesh deformer attached to the body, which takes the weighting from this body and kind of and applies it to the skirt, so there's one less job to do there. So yeah, hopefully that's given you an insight into how quickly and powerful the character builder is in Cinema 4D.